In this episode, Dave Radcliffe is taking us to meet the Village Tribune's very own environmental champion, John Parsonage. They take a walk along the remote north bank of the River Welland, east of Crowland.
I'm pleased to be out today with someone whose name will be familiar to you all in the Village Tribune magazine. This is John Parsonage. John, how did you get involved with the Tribune?
I got involved with the Village Tribune through Anne Lees. She followed me, I think, on Facebook, and then she saw some of the photos I put onto the Village Tribune Facebook site, and she said, would you be willing or interested in writing an article or two for the Village Tribune? And obviously with being interested in wildlife and in the local area and community, I thought, yeah, definitely, I jumped at the chance. So as you're probably aware, I then wrote 3 or 4 different articles, probably 5 or 6 articles actually, I think.
I've noticed your photography and articles concentrate mostly on the environment, and I've been shocked by some of the posts regarding the amount of litter and your heroic litter picks that you're doing.
Well, wildlife and the environment is something I've always grown up with, and as I've got older, I'm very, very passionate about it. I find it as like a pressure release to go out on the camera early on a Sunday morning. You know what I mean? Your phone's not going to ring at 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, and you get a couple of hours to yourself. But while you're sitting there with your camera and observing wildlife, you're also looking around. And the other thing I saw a lot of was litter. The ditches, some of the ditches would be absolutely full of litter alongside, say, playing fields or lay-bys. And it's such a shame, as far as I'm concerned, to sit there in a beautiful, pristine surroundings and then see a barn owl 15 feet away, and then you look underneath the barn owl on the ditch side and there can be 20 or 30 cans and bottles. So one is I engage with people through my articles to try and emphasise the importance of either not dropping it in the first place or actually finding an hour or two to go and do a litter pick of their own. And failing that, I'll go out and, if I've got an hour or two, I'll go out and pick what I can.
One thing I've noticed along here, the passing places are often used as lay-bys for people to stop and look at the wildlife, or they're walking the dogs, but there's not a single bin anywhere for people to use to put the rubbish in, or even the dog mess that they're hopefully going to collect when their dog's done what it has to do.
Yeah, that's right. I think from Deeping to Spalding is nearly 7 miles. 7 miles, then you come down to Crowland Bridge and you've got the slipway put in by the Environment Agency, the picnic benches, but no bin. So it all goes on the bank top, it all goes on the roadsides, and eventually either in the river or left to rot on the grass banks.
Yeah, so I've seen everything along here, from parts from crash damaged cars, discarded wheelie bins of all things, beer bottles, beer cans, crisp packets, you name it. I think you could find it along here.
Yeah, you get some big fly tips. Some have been tipped actually out on the road. You get some that are dumped down the bank and just left, and then, like you say, literally hundreds of cans and bottles.
Yeah, people seem to abdicate their responsibilities, unfortunately.
And it all comes down to personal responsibility at the end of the day. From the most basic, you know what I mean, like you say, a crisp packet, just put it in your pocket, take it home, put it in the bin.
It's not hard, is it?
No.
You're into taxidermy, I believe. How does that work for you? Do you use it for educational purposes?
I use it for both for our interest, from my own personal natural history interest, because I love the beauty of the animal or the bird or whatever it is. But I use it for education for children. I've taken it into different primary schools. The latest one was Pinchbeck Church of England Primary School, and I spoke to 60 children. It wasn't all about taxidermy, it was about the importance of not dropping litter in the environment because it damages wildlife. You know, animals can get caught, get trapped, get poisoned or whatever, depending on what's been dumped. And they were asking questions not only about the how taxidermy was done, they were then asking about like the waste and how it can be recycled and so on and so forth.
They can then take that on to their parents, and if they see their parents dropping litter, they could quite easily say, pick that up, Mum, or pick that up, Dad, why are you doing that?
Cans, bottles, etc. People think, oh, it's just a can, but it's gone and it's there for another 100, 200, 300 years.
Do you hope your articles raise awareness with people, make them more environmentally thoughtful?
I would like to think so. I know 1 or 2 people have been. I've actually got a friend at Crowland and he went out with his wife the other week out onto Crowland Wash, and he'd picked up 2 or 3 sackfuls where he walks his dogs, so it's motivated him to do something. But you can but hope. To do nothing is...
It's ridiculous, isn't
Yes.
it? Well, the weather's not brilliant, John. I think we'll probably call it a day at that, but thank you very much indeed for sharing your thoughts and your passions, because
Thank you.
it's superb and it's what people need to know.
Thank you very much. It's not a lot to say, it's not been the best of days. I think we'll all be glad to get in the warm.
Exactly. Thanks very much.
Yeah, no problem at all. Cheers now. Cheers. Thank you, Dave.
In the next episode, Dave takes us on a rather unique photography shoot at the incredible Yew Tree Avenue, close to Clipsham, in the county of Rutland.